Hey guys, I thought I'd talk to you a little bit today about some evolutionary biology, a little bit of psychology stuff, and kind of give you a peek behind Oz's curtain and explain to you where a lot of problems are coming from in society, where a lot of problems are coming from the women, where a lot of problems are coming from religion, from gynocentrism, from the government, everything. Basically, when you have children, your children only know what you teach them and what they know to be true and what they learn in their lifetime. So say 100 years. Within 100 years of them being born, they might know a little bit of what's gone on, and they can make a logical decision on what they think is wrong and what they think is right. Well, this can be altered through people who believe something else or who want to influence your children. Now, in the case of what I was speaking about the other day in Japan, this is the case that we have going on here right now. When you have a child, you tend to leave that child with the grandparents. Now, if I have, say, a five-year-old child, and I don't take care of him, me nor my wife take care of him, and we were taken care of by our grandparents, which were 70 years old at the time, say. We'll just go with an estimated 70 years old. And the grandparents are 70 years old. So now, they're 70 years old now. That means this grandparent was taken care of by their 70-year-old grandpa. So what that means is this person here was born, they would be born in 1945, and they were 5 years old in 1950. So that means this grandparent is going to teach your child how to live from a 1950s standpoint. But they learned from their grandparents, which would be born in 1880. You understand how fucked up life can get like that? Imagine a person teaching your children now lifestyle from 1880, because that's what they know. They were taught when they were kids from their grandparents, and now their grandparents, and they're going to teach your kids. And what they're teaching your kids is from the 1800s. Now, where this can go wrong is when you try to teach your children about religion. Well, it's becoming a thing now where they did a study where they looked at all of the children that were coming into Harvard, and they realized that 34% now have said they're either atheist or agnostic, that they don't believe in religion. Because it takes about 150 years to get past this. Because if you think about me and my wife, if we were raised, I was born in 1973. So if we were raised by 70-year-old parents at that time, and when I was born, say I talk about my kid's wife. She was born in 1967. I was born in 1973. So that would mean that the parents that took care of me in the 70s would have been born in 1903. And those parents that were born in 1903 were taught by people that were born in 1867. You see that? How that works out? Same with my wife. That would be worse with my wife. Now, the person that raised her would have been born in 1897. And the people that raised her would have been born 1827. So we have people here teaching from this standpoint. And this is the reason why we're having problems with Japanese culture. It's the reason why we're having problems with Japanese government. A lot of the people that are in the Japanese government are old world thinkers, and they think they don't want to harm the way Japan is thought about. It's the same problem that we're having in the American government. There's these rich assholes that are thinking that what they're doing is actually profitable, and that's all they think about. And that's because when they were raised, this is how they were brought up. They were rich people, and because they were rich people, they were brought up to think that that's all that matters. And this is where we go wrong, right here. Now, the problem that we're having, like I say, is it takes a long time to get past this when you're jumping like this. If you're not directly telling your children that gays are fine, that blacks are fine, that nothing's wrong, that you should be friendly to everybody and treat everybody like everybody should be treated. If you're not doing that, then you're doing a disservice to your children and to the children's children and to the children's children's children. You know, you should think of it in a way where you are actually affecting the generation after you. It's all right if you want to affect them logically, and if you want to affect them in a relatively knowledgeable manner. But when you're actively like trying to get people to be unintelligent, to try to convince them that Buddhism, Muslim, Hinduism, Christianity, fundamentalism, feminism, all these things are true and are things that you should aspire to be in your life and things that you should aspire to waste your time with in life, then this is what you're going to get. You're going to get this. And we need to actively fight this, because this is our problem. Here in Japan, with our herbivore men, this is the problem. This is why we have herbivore men. It's also because of the culture, but the culture is brought about by older Japanese women teaching young children from the 1820s and 1880s style of living, where the man works, you stay home and take care of your kids, and you live off your husband and have a vacation paid for the rest of your life. This is where feminism is coming from. This is where gynocentrism is coming from. This is where our entire system will fall to the ground from this. We need to get this to stop. And the best way to do that, the coolest way to do that, and when we're thinking about society and we're thinking about changing society, this is what herbivore men and MGTOW and anybody that's decided to not have children and not associate with women, this is what can happen. In a timeline, you have your children, your wife and you, and your grandparents, like that. Now that line, basically, you're constantly putting into that line, like this. You're constantly having children, you're constantly sharing knowledge, you're constantly passing on things. And it's jumping, like this. And the problem that you have with that is you have your grandparents here, they're imparting knowledge here, and then it's being shared here, and it's moving all the way out to here. Well, that's the problem that we have. But we can remedy that by changing this dynamic to here. Grandparents, children. See how we can do that? It's very hard for these grandparents to impart knowledge this far out. They've shared some stuff with you. You haven't had any children, and the people in the planet slump. So instead of having this like that, you have it go up and then flatline, and then it goes down. It starts to go down. And by doing that, that's how you remedy gynocentrism, religion, Buddhism, government, everything. You can remedy it by that way. And that's the thing that's going on here in Japan, is we have a huge percentage of the population, 70% estimated, that are herbivore men. And this is where it's coming from, you know. And this is just a reveal behind the thing. I can go into more detail on this. Basically, I just wanted to kind of throw that out there and get you guys to understand what's going on. If you like this video, share, like, and subscribe. If you got any ideas for stuff you want me to do, tell me. And thanks for watching.